Hey, welcome to another E&J On Air on Rinse FM. I am Logan Sama, and today we are joined by a certified grime legend, a man who has been doing this just as long as I have. That's how you know he's a certified grime legend. Very happy to welcome into the studio my friend and colleague in this grime journey, President T. What's going on, sir?
Yeah. Very happy to be here as well. It's all gravy, it's live. Welcome.
So the subject is grime legend.
Yeah.
And we are speaking to you on that because that is what you are,
Yeah.
sir. How long have you been involved in this? You've been involved in this since before it was actually called grime.
Yeah.
How far
Yeah.
back we going?
18 plus,
Yeah.
possibly.
Turn of millennium.
Yeah. So, it just seems like it's just evolved and evolved for the better, obviously. Other genres have grown off it now. And yeah, it's great. The state it's in now, it's great.
A lot of people always get asked sort of how they got into MC and like, did you grow up around music in your family? I asked that because you obviously have a very musical family in
Yeah,
your
of course.
brothers.
Yeah.
For the people
Yeah.
that don't know,
Yeah.
your brothers are Big H and Paper Pabs.
Yeah, that's right,
as
yeah.
well. So,
Yeah.
did you grow up with music around your family? Because it obviously had a very big influence on you all growing up.
Yeah, well, my mother was a singer.
Okay.
Back in the days, way before our times, and my father was like an MC.
For real?
On the like the carnival reggae type of vibe. Back in the days.
So, sound system.
Yeah, sound system type of thing. Like hard for a lot of this younger generation to really understand what an MC was back then. But yeah, so it's always been in like the blood, and I've always had like a natural drive for it from when I was a kid.
So you didn't just have music in and around the house, you actually had an example set that you could go out and make it yourself. It's not something that you just consumed, it was something that you saw being done and performed.
Yeah. When it came to the, getting into the actual deep lyric side of it, that was what I searched myself. So I became the lyricist myself, but the influence was obviously from that.
To start it out.
Yeah.
What's your earliest memory and recollection of like writing bars or even just trying to make music? I don't know what you'd have done as a kid.
From back in the days when I used to take the Westwood show.
Yeah.
And I used to write bars then. But to be honest, I never thought it would work. I just thought, oh no, I'm wasting my time. This ain't really gonna happen, it ain't gonna take off. And then obviously the rave culture grew, and then more MCs in England or UK were coming onto the platform. So then I kind of thought to myself, yeah, maybe.
What was the first type of stuff that you would? So it was hip hop you were
Hip-hop.
writing.
Yeah.
Were you ever like into jungle as well? Because I know you're kind of that.
Well, yeah, that was after the hip hop. It was like, for me, I could kind of get into the lyric side of it through the jungle scene, and I enjoyed it. I was always taping Cool FM on my tape player and stuff, and I was really into it. So yeah, when I first started spitting, MCing, rapping, whatever you call it, it was on jungle drum and bass.
Okay.
And then obviously when the garage platform came through, I was able to slow it down a touch, and
How old were you when like jungle was around? How are we talking?
Well, I'm talking from the age of probably 12 to 16.
Who's the oldest out of you three, by the way?
Me.
You? Yeah, I thought so.
I thought you already knew that.
Don't want to assume, mate. Don't want to assume. So you're the gaffer, obviously, in the household.
Yeah.
Out of your three brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. When garage came along, it was like, because jungle was definitely like ours, like British. You heard our culture in the dance. It was something we went out and experienced ourselves. But it was, it never really felt kind of like something that you would make something of, like you'd be able to get into, It was definitely something that was kind of like out of reach to be part of it for most people, because it was kind of closed off. You had like, Stevie Hyper and Skibber and Shabba, and them man were just up there and
Yeah.
you might mess around, but it's
Yeah.
not something you didn't think you could get into. When garage came around, and especially like underground pirate radio,
Yeah.
it was like an explosion of people just giving it a go and like, believing that they could do it. Like,
Yeah.
what were the influences them times that really made you think, yeah, this is for me?
Well, on garage, straight away, I can finally say, you know, when I heard like Maxwell D,
Okay.
obviously Soul Solid were massive and stuff, and but for me, like the way he actually put his lyrics across, and it was a big influence for me, because I thought, okay, he can bring the Caribbean cultural thing
Yeah.
to this quite high tempo music.
Because there was a lot of representation of
Yeah.
that style in jungle.
Yeah.
Garage was
Yeah.
not so much.
Yes, so, and then obviously you had the Pay As You Go Cartel crew, you had Wiley and that. So, yeah, to be real, it was them man there that kind of made me think, wow, you know what? This thing's coming through, people are understanding it. It's not just seen as some rave music, if you know what I mean, where you have to go to a rave and get out of your nut to listen to it. So,
And
yeah.
like sort of chat, ibby dibby,
Yeah,
bip
yeah,
bop bop,
yeah,
lyrics, like you can
yeah.
say stuff, style and patterns.
Yeah, yeah, and people were actually taking time out to listen to the bars and listen to what man was saying. So I was like, okay. So then the lyrics would come back to the schools, etc., and then people would repeat them and stuff. So, yeah.
When did you first like form a crew, and what was it?
Right. I'm glad you asked that one.
There we go.
When I first formed the crew, it was up in Manchester, around the year 2000 mark, late 99, and it was a crew called Dark Side Crew, and we were just on like regular stations. Then we finally made it onto like a legal community radio up in Manchester. So that was kind of big for us. We done a couple shows up north, like Leeds, Huddersfield, and a few small towns, but it never got further than that. Really, it never got any further. So
Who was in that?
that was myself, President T, Big H, Nova Dan, and DJ was PH1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking 2000 times. Grime's just starting to get a little bit darker.
Yeah.
The beats are getting a bit more stripped down. There's
Yeah.
more space.
Yeah.
You can MC for longer.
Yeah.
You're not just waiting for that 116 bar gap
Oh, yeah.
to get your one lyric in.
That's right, yeah.
DJs are experimenting, playing different stuff. Was anyone producing out of you guys, or in
Well-
and around you at the time?
Well, yeah. I was using Reason myself
Okay.
and making a few beats. So was H, and the selector PH1. He made most of our productions. But yeah, he would get the train or the coach all the way down to Music House once a
so
month. Yeah. So take out his time and effort, and get dubs pressed. So yeah, respect to him, man. I think he's like a bodybuilder now, or something like that, or he does martial arts or something. But yeah, respect to him now.
All that carrying them dub plate boxes
Yeah,
around worked out for him in the
yeah,
end.
yeah.
All they
yeah.
did was wreck my shoulders. What kind of producers and beats, like, can you remember any like that you liked spitting on back then? Just to get an idea of the sort of sound for people, they can maybe go and check some stuff out.
Yeah, well, mainly it was a lot of the old school Jamie stuff.
Okay.
A lot of that. It was that was mainly what I was spitting on back then, and other productions that my friends had made. It weren't really I weren't really reaching out and getting the musical mobs or anything like that.
Yeah.
Even though those rhythms were out there, I don't know. We just kind of had our own sound from way back.
From early.
Yeah.
So you're not really playing a box of records that like commercially out in the stores.
Yeah.
You're
No.
really playing your own
right.
sound.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, because that's the case for a lot of crews, where rather than just going out and buying what was out there,
Yeah.
because me as a DJ, I used to just go and do the rounds, man. I'd
Yeah.
go, Rhythm Division, Planet Fat, Uptown Records, and just hit them all up.
Screaming.
Looking
all
for South was a bit far for me, mate.
Oh.
But yeah, just looking for whatever was new, white labels and what have you. But there's a lot of crews out there that you're literally just making a whole set of your own stuff.
Yeah. We was making our own stuff for like years and years, and I kind of think that makes you like work on your craft a bit better, because you're able to find yourself more as an artist.
There's
as
way
an
more
MC.
experimentation.
Yeah. So it's like so when it came to the other mainstream productions that were out there, it was light work. You know what I mean?
So when did you move down from Manny?
Back. So when I came back from Manchester, it was 2003.
Yeah.
In the heat of in the prime of the grime era.
Yeah, grime's doing great.
Yeah.
Izzy's albums coming out.
So came back 2003. Obviously, Meridian Crew.
Yeah.
And then very soon after, we was on Deja Vu.
Yeah. Monday nights.
Yeah, went to the meeting, got the set, and then we.
So how did it come about you becoming part of Meridian Crew? Because I know a lot of people want to know sort of how that came about.
Yeah, well, my part was it was kind of already running when I was up in Manchester.
Okay.
So I came down, and it was like an automatic entry, really. You know what I mean? The bars were there and everything. So yeah, and then it was Heat FM. Yeah. And I remember I would gate crash quite a lot of sets on Heat FM. So sorry to anyone whose set I just rolled up in and just came and sprayed 2 bars, but that was the thing to do back then, to kind of prove yourself as like one of the.
You put the radio on and it sounds like it's popping. Like, I need to be on that set because that set's going to get taped. Yeah. And everyone's going to be listening to it. So I need to make sure I'm on it.
The radio back then was running. People just had it on. Yep. It was part of life back then. Now it's kind of, I don't know, but so yeah, Heat was a big thing for us. So we was kind of massive on Heat. Hence why we was straight on Deja. So.
So what's your links to like Jamie and Skepta in terms of that Meridian link up?
Links are like we grew up on the same estate basically. Yeah. So they're brothers. Yeah. And with my brothers, we kind of all became brothers at one time. Yeah. Still now kind of. But yeah, that was our link kind of. So we kind of had that in common already. Do you know what I mean?
So it was just a short period of time that you moved away from the Meridian estate up to Manchester.
Yeah, that's right.
How long were you up there for?
About 2 years, 9 months.
Okay, so not that long at all.
No.
But in that time, got your own stuff regulating. Came back down. Yeah. And you know everything's already popping off in London. Yeah. Seamlessly. Yeah. Became part of a Meridian. Yeah. What was it like them times? Because obviously you're going onto Deja on Mondays. Yeah. That's the all-star night. Monday night on Deja. So all-star night. You've got Nasty on there. Yeah. Kids in the Hood are on there. I think Roll Deep on there as well. Yeah. Rush Squad are on Mondays.
Mocky Wolfpack.
Yeah, it's
Unlimited
crazy.
Unlimited Cruise.
Everything's
and
in
they
there.
think there's gang problems now.
And you're stepping in there, especially because you're from North as well. Yeah. And most of these are all East crews on the East Station. What was that like for you guys? Like, did you feel you had more to prove?
Well, you know what? Nah, not really, because to say it like it is, everyone's from hoods really. You know what I mean? Ghettos and stuff. So, we're from the ghetto part of North. Yeah. So it was like a North. Our part of North is literally next door to East. You could walk to East if you know what I mean. If you lived in the right part. So it's not really it wasn't a thing like that. Everyone held their own really. Yeah, I never saw it like that, and I don't think anyone else did. Like, these men are from North, and now we kind of, you know what I mean. We made a difference, to be honest, to the whole rooftop element.
So what's the lineup of Meridian Crew these times when you first got on?
These times it was Skepta, myself, JME, Meridian Dan, Big H, Bossman Birdie, and Paper Pabs.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the lineup when I got to Meridian Crew. I believe there was other man in there prior, 1 or 2.
Yeah. Private Caller, which is a historic track produced by Skepta, showing off some of the incredible talent that came out of North London at the time. It was a very exciting time, and I feel like it gets overlooked a lot. Heat FM was definitely popping, and you had guys making the effort to go there as well. It wasn't just one-way traffic to the promised land of East London to go and perform grime. People were travelling there and doing a lot.
Man were jumping on the A40, man, and just flying to North,
around and trying to get in that
because even though North, they say it's had its troubles, and the land of North London is very welcome. We welcome everyone. It's a very welcome place. You can go there to work. You can buy a flat there, an apartment. You know, anything's possible in North. You know,
it's the land of dreams. Private Caller obviously had most of the big names that were doing stuff at the time from North. Jamie, yourself, Frisco's on there.
Big up Frisco.
Who else is on there that was like really making a lot of noise? Dimples and Cell
Double. Correct.
Obviously Dan. Dan's on there. A bunch of people on there as well. But then you had like younger artists on there as well. Scorcher's on there, right? And
Scorcher and Cookie.
So, you know, you had Cold Blooded coming through at the time, doing their thing. In many ways. But musically doing a lot of stuff as well on Heat. Really enjoyed their
You had
stuff.
Disturbing Man them. Combination Crew.
Venom.
So you had like a batch of North crews. You know what I mean? A batch of North crews. I can finally say and proudly say all the North crews were sick.
They were
but,
as well.
But we were the North crew that, you know.
I mean, you were definitely the marquee name,
champions,
the main event.
The champions of North London grime.
Champions of North London grime. That's the first
I would say the champions of London grime, but you know, I'll wait for other people to have their opinion on that. But as far as North London's concerned, I can officially say, because we put our graft in. We, you know, I can talk about it now. I drove vehicles with no insurance and no tax or nothing like that, all the way to places just for music and stuff, just to get there, so I took risks. We took risks. So if you take risks and you fight and you keep working, you'll become a champion.
What are some of the tracks that people should go and hunt down from Meridian Crew? I know they're hard to find anyway. But like, is there any that you can think of that people need to go and try and find that, you know, are on like YouTube or whatever? Maybe. There's not a lot like that's been archived.
They're quite hard to find.
They were literally like you were saying, you just go and cut them on dub and play them on
There
radio.
was a track that I weren't on. It was Don't F Around.
Okay,
Yeah, that one. And a couple other tracks that have been lost in the archive, to be honest. But
I wonder if we'll ever get like a Lost Files Meridian project.
Possibly.
That'd be fun to try and get the paperwork done, wouldn't it? Wow. So obviously that era came. Grime had a massive explosion. Like 03, 04 times, everyone was talking about it. All the opportunities were there. Meridian's doing amazing. Wiley puts a call in to JME, I think it was. Come down to the studio. Starts working. And all of a sudden, like, JME's part of Roll Deep. How was that taken?
Any move
positive for it?
Any move that anyone made from the camp back then was positive, because Roll Deep were at a stage where it was like up there kinda, and they were setting the legacy at that time. I could already see it for where grime is now, really. So if one of our crew members was to affiliate or to move over, then that was only gonna be more positive for us in the long run.
More attention.
More
on Meridian
eyes
stuff.
on. So where this guy's coming from, so they look more into, okay, where he's coming from, and then they see us. You know what I mean? So that opens up doors and everything, and respect to Jamie, Wiley, the whole Roll Deep and everything that was going on back then, because it really opened up a lot of doors.
Obviously, Skepta was producing a lot as well. He's getting a lot of love for those beats. Like Pulse Eskimo Gunshot Rhythm was like, I think the first thing that most people would have noticed that he was involved with that a lot of people didn't even know he made.
Right.
To be fair,
there was a lot of politics around there.
It just ended up on white label one day, as a lot of those Eskimo refixes did. But from then, you know, tracks like Meridian Walk and DTI, massive tracks that got a lot of attention for him as a producer. I think I remember, didn't he have a... Yes, he had a rap clash with Jammer. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
You remember it happening? Though,
Vaguely,
right?
yeah.
I just remember a video of him sitting in the studio spitting bars for Jammer on hip hop. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of dusty memories in these old brains.
Yeah, Skepta's a good rapper, man.
Yeah.
He's a good rapper.
These
has been.
These times, what are you guys working on? Like, you know, you're seeing all this attention for Skepta's Productions.
Yeah.
You're seeing like Jeremy, who's obviously younger than all of you, getting all this attention.
Yeah.
Like, what's you, the rest of Meridian's sort of strategy? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to make? Are you even trying to get anything out of this?
Yeah, we just wanted deep 16s.
Yeah.
We had 16s that could mash you up, literally, like, you know, just coming with the 16s and everyone goes, what? Yeah, we just piled up the 16s, and then after a while it got to the stage of where we imagined future projects, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And then obviously Jamie made it happen, but we kept talking about it, you know, future albums and future EPs, and it was becoming a game then. It was becoming a scene where that stuff was starting to grow. So yeah, but we never really got down to it. We just kept.
What was the reason for that? Because there was never a Meridian mixtape, like a proper. Yeah. There's a couple of bootleg ones flying around the markets, Sunday markets, and that. Those little dodgy compilations. Yeah. Where people would, you know, put stuff together. Yeah. But yeah, there was never a Meridian mixtape. Definitely not an album. There weren't really that many Meridian singles either that you could actually buy.
I think because we was a crew or a collective that had our individual paths anyway, and other street stuff going on at the time, I think that basically it should have happened, but we was too busy with our own individual lives at the time. Yeah. And we could all individually seek music work from the outside world, if you know what I mean. So it was just busy, it was chaos, it was going on. We was getting booked all over the country, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And it was quite early.
Was there too much like road distraction as well? Because obviously that was a big part of your lyrical content.
A lot, yeah.
You were not shy about talking about it.
Yeah. A lot. And it took me a long time to realise that the road, there's no place in my life for the road no more. Yeah. And it was all about music and what I can bring for the people and my fans and that. So, you know, it took me probably longer than others to realise that. Yeah. But I always kept, I always kept music in my life. Yeah. So even though there was quiet periods where where's Prez and how comes he ain't putting out music, I still done something each year until I got really busy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I
mean, you had, in the end, we ended up compiling a bunch of tracks. What was that, like 05, 06? When was that? That we did the free download on?
07.
Was it 07?
Yeah, 07.
Wow.
07, yeah. 07. Yeah, Back in My Face, Volume 1. Yeah. And that spoke of one of the most, one of the
and I think
best grime albums ever.
I think that really goes to show that, you know, the quality of the stuff.
I'm proud of that still. Doing, I am, yeah.
It would have been, like a Meridian mixtape would have been a massive deal. Yeah. But then it's interesting because at the same time, we'd just come all the way forward. Yeah. There's never been a Boy Better Know album either.
Right.
So in that way, I guess it kind of continues. Let's talk a little bit about a very, very important incident in terms of Meridian Crew and all of you guys'
Here we go.
career. Exactly. You know what's what I'm going to talk about. The shooting that happened on the estate. Yeah. Obviously, Boss Man. All of you were arrested. Had a big effect on all of you. Yeah. Boss Man the most, but it pretty much shut down the musical output for a lot of you for a long period of time. Computers seized. Yeah. all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Studio equipment.
Yeah.
What was it like going through it, living through it? Because obviously, you know, you were never.
It was a bit. It was.
You were never charged.
It took you.
Or whatever, so,
It took you. It did take. It made you take 2 steps back. But they say, in order to go forward, 1 step forward, you have to go 2 steps back. So that's the way I saw it. I took it as a positive thing, and I thought, you know what? All right, we've lost a lot of, you know, tunes and stuff like that, but, you know, life goes on. And that is when I started to realise how valuable my talent was, or we were as a group. Because prior to that, I don't know, we never thought it would, like, get big or become a thing.
Is that maybe why that there was never a full-length project?
Yeah, we never thought that when we were spraying bars in Meridian and that, we never thought that this is going to go worldwide. We didn't even think it would go nationwide, to be honest. We thought it would stay in the suburbs of
even
London.
when you'd seen people like Dizzy playing across the country and then have award-winning albums, and Wiley getting these big deals, Kano.
Yeah, but we saw it as it was still handpicked.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's for them, that's not for us.
Yeah,
kind of thing. They're the opportunities that are gifted to them. But
well, the genre itself
to us. Yeah.
wasn't even formed properly then.
Yeah.
So you know, they was Kano and Dizzy weren't making pop.
No.
They was making grime.
Yeah.
But when it got into the hands of the mainstream, they tried to make it seem like, oh, we're handpicking this one because we're going to put it in the pop era.
Yeah.
So still the genre of grime weren't there. Now it is. You know what I mean? But talented musicians in the field were making it. So yeah, we still never thought it would become a thing because there was so much of us. Not just Meridian, there was other crews.
Yeah.
All around London.
A lot of competition, a lot of stations. Like there was dozens and dozens of stations.
Yes, yeah. But it also felt like a skilled trade. Yeah. That only a few knew, if you know what I mean.
It was kind of like a league system, right? Because you couldn't just get on Deja or Rinse.
No.
And you couldn't just get on Heat.
No.
And it was like the lower leagues. Stations.
Yeah.
You know,
the lower leagues.
Like you could have a run out on Mystic FM, and if you scored a couple of goals in the cup or whatever, you might get to bring in.
You'll make it up.
To Flavour.
That's right. Yeah.
A Raw Mission. And then if you did all right there, you might get brought into Deja and Rinse. And it was like a meritocracy, I guess. Like you were there by merit, right? Or if you were someone's cousin or something.
Yeah, of course.
That always helped as well.
You had to be a member.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's the way we saw it. We never thought it would become a thing at all. And a lot of it was street cred.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the street people were tuned into these stations. So they would listen and go, oh no, Prez, man, I heard your bars. Serious, man, on Heat. And then that was the only hope you had of it, really, to be honest. To actually, you know, make albums and mixtapes to where it's got to now. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's great. And for the whole world, really, to be, you know, eyes on grime and, you know what I mean?
I mean, eventually you continued recording, you carried on making records to the point at which you did have enough tracks for us to compile together. And I remember reaching out to you because I was just a big fan of how you were making music. There's freestyles and stuff you've recorded that have never come out and I can't find anymore. I think your Private Caller 2 is one of my favourite recordings ever.
No, of course,
Old bars, new bars, or spit whatever the F bars are like in the intro.
I can't find it either.
Yeah, I'm pissed. It's in a box somewhere on a dusty CD. I can see the CD in my mind as well. You know, like how you remember records and you can remember what the label looked like. I've seen that I used to see that CD so much. Remember what the label looked like on the CD, but yeah, you had enough tracks that you were recording consistently and putting singles together, wherein that you were able to compile enough to do what was effectively a free download of them. Really well received. You guys had you definitely had the respect on the roads, but with the rise of like internet forums, you had a really strong online, like a loyal online fan base as well.
Yeah, I just went with the times, to be honest. Internet. I had a MySpace.
Yeah.
Then obviously Facebook and that. but I've never really been like an internet savvy person.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And as times went on, I've become more active on it. But that played a big part, I must say. That played a big part because, like, you know, fans and people was able to reach you from all parts of the country now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think one of your biggest releases at that time would have been the single that we put out together, which would have been
Heard
What I Said and Large Way.
Yeah, man.
Spider beats and skits.
Yeah.
I understand how you work with Spider because he was ends from literally from your estate as well, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But how did you link up with Skits for that tune?
Skits, where was I?
He's in Elstone.
I was at Jammers.
Okay.
And he was outside, and we all went in. Because back in the day, everybody wanted to showcase their beats. Everybody wanted to show you their tune. Like, yo, man's got a tune that I made, and you know, with their fingers crossed of you jumping up and saying, yo, that's sick.
I need that one.
Yeah. And you know, fortunately for Skits, that happened. So Heard What I Said came up, and vocaled it. It was lit straight away. We knew it was going to be a banger.
Yeah.
And then we took it from there.
I think you're one of the few MCs that has been able to take what they do on a set and put it on a record, and there's no compromise. You know, a lot of men can't do what they do on a set on a record. It just doesn't translate. But because of your style, I think it definitely works.
Yeah.
You took a little bit of time out from music in general, didn't you?
Yeah.
Couple of years, few years.
Yeah.
But when you came back, you're very consistent.
Yeah.
Let's go through the projects that you dropped since you've been back on this full time.
Greatest to Ever Touchdown. That was a project. Straight after that was Tea on the Wing. And Strange Returns.
Yeah. And they're like full length, proper.
Yeah.
One would consider them albums these days.
Hardcore grime.
Straight up as well, yeah. Exactly.
Consistent. I've got a project, There's Only One.
Yeah.
That's about to drop very soon. And that's balanced now. So I've kind of kept it grime, but I've balanced it a bit with the times. So there's a bit of drill on there. Yeah. And other subgenres.
What do you think about drill, like where it sits culturally and musically? Like, do you think it comes from the same place as like where you were coming into grime?
Yeah, it's an offshoot of grime. That's my opinion.
Because a lot of the kids, you talk to a lot of the drill artists, and they don't really have any connection to grime. Yeah,
they don't, because, you know, they don't know it themselves. Bless them. You know what I mean? You know, they don't know that without grime, there would not be a platform for drill in the UK. In America, because it was already popping over there. But in the UK, and the speed of the drill tracks. Yeah.
Because a lot of the productions to me sound
like
really,
grime.
Really
they sound like grime, but
they could be grime.
With rap sounds, if you know what I mean.
Well, a lot of the grime. Yeah. There's no. I mean, you've got like Wiley using Esky sounds, but other than that, there's no grime sounds. Man, we're just using what, you know. I've got Fruity Loops over here. I've got Reason over here. I've got this crack plugin.
That's right.
I'm using whatever sounds I can get my hands
on.
That's
right, yeah.
So grime sounds is not really the thing. It's just this man used the sound and it popped. Okay, so that's a grime sound now. But, you know, people are using Lex Luger samples. Yeah. You know, all of these old, you know, all these hip hop plugins and orchestral plugins and stuff. So, but the way they're put together, I think a lot of it reminds me of Crazy Bandit. You remember Crazy Bandit, the producer?
Oh yeah,
from South. A lot of it reminds me of him as well. Yeah. There's loads of bass in it. It definitely sounds distinctly different from American drill.
Yeah, of course it does.
And you can see that, you know, the kids coming off the estate, out the ghetto, the hood areas.
How grime first kind of formed.
Exactly.
The same
together
type
their
of
own crews, just doing their thing. Just they don't have pirate radio. They don't have those platforms that we had. Yeah. So they're just doing their thing and putting it on
making
YouTube.
It places now. It's actually like it's getting a big response online and stuff like that. And you know, drill is a genre itself now, a subgenre of grime. You know, everybody has to learn to accept that. And it will just go, and it will get bigger and bigger and bigger.
I mean, you also have to look at the influences of UK hip hop on it as well, or road rap, as it was called for a while. Yeah. You know, likes of Gigs, SL1. Yeah. Mashtown. Yeah. PDC before
Yeah.
them as well.
Yeah.
You know, there's always been rap from the road, and I think that's had a big influence on drill as well.
Yeah. Drills. Also, I've noticed there's a certain type of flow that a lot of men that do drill have got, and it sits well on the instrumental, and that's what's it's kind of going in their favor, because they're not just rapping over a beat with lots of bass. They're actually taking time out to, you know, put a flow together and make it sound interesting.
It's not as busy as a grime flow as well.
No,
and their flows would work on grime beats.
Yeah,
but they're not like double time.
No, it's quite, you can be a bit laid back on drill.
But I mean, you know, not just because you're here, but that's how you were doing grime in the first place, anyway. You weren't that skippy flow guy.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You were that
that's what I'm trying to
space,
say. Yeah.
Laid back on the beat guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, it is what it is. And people should be careful about trying to overshadow original grime with other sub-genres, because it all comes from grime, really. The same way grime stems from garage. A lot of people won't want to admit that, but it stems from two-step, old school UK garage, where you had to go to the club with, you know, trousers, shiny loafers and that. You know, like, I'm taking it back. So yeah, that's where it stems from, and people need to understand that. And if they don't, then they don't know dramas. But
it's definitely a massive influence, and it's definitely paved the way a lot of the artists have as well.
Yeah.
What differences did you notice when you came back to doing, you know, grime regularly and putting the music out, from when you kind of took a break? Like,
I noticed that anything's just going, anything is anything now. So it's based on the beat and how you make the people feel, rather than what you're saying to them, which is a shame. And I hope it doesn't go down that road.
How do you mean?
But like, say we're in the mumble rap era.
Yeah.
Whereas before, people were taking more time out to take in what an artist is saying, rather than, you know what I mean?
Are you talking music in general or grime?
Music in general.
Yeah.
Obviously, grime still, you know, grime. The beats don't. You have to be talking sense on grime, because the beats are so fast, or they're quite, you know, dynamic in a way. People would notice if you weren't talking sense, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Whereas
on a lot of these drill or rap stuff that's out now, you can just say anything and the beat will catch you, kind of. Do you understand? No?
Yeah, there's a lot of...
If you know what I mean. The beat, if the beat's good or the instrumental's banging, as they would say, then that's good enough.
You're saying something catchy over and over and over again, over a strong 808 and a bass line,
yeah,
then people will turn up to that in the club, I guess.
Yeah. But I respect the man that, even if they're not deep on the bars, I respect the man that come out with catchy hooks. I respect them because they've took time out to, you know, try and seek into what's interesting or what people would find clever. So I respect man that come up with catchy hooks and hooks that work.
And what about the differences between grime then and now as well that you've noticed?
Not much, man.
No?
Not much at all.
Still just trucking along?
Yeah, grime is still in the same high state it always has been. For prime example, you know, shout out Lethal B as well, man, because he's a prime example.
He was one of the first man to have hits.
Yeah, Lethal B's a G.
Well, definitely before it was grime, like More Fire Crew.
No.
Album
If any of these youngsters or, you know, new generation guys want someone to look up to in grime, he's definitely one I would pick, if you know what I mean. Lethal B. So yeah, the new track that he's made recently,
yep,
you know, that's a prime example of grime is never going to be underwater. It's always going to be sailing. You know what I mean,
people kind of veer off, come back to it.
And there's more of those type of tracks to come in the future as well, from like I, myself and other artists, you know what I mean? When it's time to draw for the swords, they're there. I mean,
back in the day, it was like I'm just into grime.
Yeah.
I'm just into drum and bass. I'm just into house, and that's it. Now they're taking a selection.
People want quality music.
Yeah.
That makes them feel good. Do you know what I mean? Even if they're not looking to dance to it, you know what I mean? it has to make them feel good. Make them
feel a certain way.
Yeah.
So, they want a reaction from it.
Yeah. Make them feel like they're moving with the current times as well. That's important.
Okay.
A lot of people, that goes over a lot of people's heads. But people want to listen to music that makes them feel like they're currently with the times. Do
you think that holds grime back a bit because it has that kind of nostalgic, historic feel to it? Whereas it hasn't really
drill
changed.
Now.
Has it? Grime's kind of like grime, and it has been grime since 2003. A lot of these kids now, they're like, oh yeah, my uncle used to listen to that, whatever. So does that maybe work against it, where it doesn't feel as current as maybe some of these new sounds, like drill and also, Afro swing, Afro bashment, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, because grime is still structured in the same way it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Intro, hook, 16 hook. You know what I mean? There's no bridges and stuff like that. And drill might have that, more of that type of stuff. So people want to listen to something, want to change in their music really after a while. And,
so there's still a role for grime, but maybe not as prominent.
Well, certain other sub genres of it, make it sound old. Unless you deal with the right producers that are actively currently, that's what it is. There's probably more men that are taking time out, as you say, 808s and that, making drill, than there are guys making grime. And all the guys that are really good at making grime have already made it.
Yeah.
Bought their crib off grime. and that's it really. So it's down to whoever's actively in grime to change opinions on it really.
What would you say your biggest legacy is in grime? Like if you had to describe what your impact on grime has been, what would you say it was?
My impact on grime?
Yeah, what's your legacy for grime?
I would say Back in My Face Volume 1.
Yeah.
Because that was at a time when the mixtape era, the physical copy era, I would say that was able, for some reason, that mixtape got all over the country. That was getting bootlegged left, right and centre. This market up north, that market, Wembley market, everywhere.
And that was kind of what we wanted for it, right? That's why we put it up.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
just have it, share it.
Yeah, kind of. So
send it round, hear it.
Yeah. So that was my biggest legacy in grime. That got me on the platform as a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, really. So and I'm glad that I put that work in and put it out there really. And thanks to you as well, because you also reminded me of how important it was to put it out there. Respect, man.
No worries. I mean, you said you got something coming next. There's only one?
There's only one. It's a mixtape / album.
Yeah.
From
we
myself.
Call those projects now.
Projects.
Got a new project.
A new project.
Gonna drop a new project.
Yeah, from myself, President.
We don't have to give them names now.
Yeah, there's only.
Man are putting out 7-track albums.
One feature on there.
Albums. So that's all you.
Yeah, all me. Hence one feature, produced by Doughboys, like most of it. Yeah.
Dates for that or in the future?
It was supposed to be out already. So that's why I haven't put a date on it. But I'm just going to push the button on it in the next 7 days.
All right.
Push the button and then let the fans know it's out. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Well, hopefully in the next couple of days from when you hear this, or if you watch the video of this, it'll already be announced. Prez, thank you very much, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Glad to be here.
It's always a pleasure talking to a fellow legend.
Respect.
This has been E&J On Air on Rinse FM, myself, Logan Sama. Don't forget, go and search up Back in My Face Volume 1. If you can't find it, hit me up. It'll be a free download. As I said, hit me up on Twitter. I'll send you a link if you can't find it. Don't forget, if you're listening to this on the radio, you'll be able to see the visuals. If you're watching the visuals, hello. Subscribe to Rinse. Thank you very much to E&J Brandy for making this possible. And look out for more E&J on air. I've been Logan Sama. This has been the one and only President T. Take care. Thanks very much.
E&J on air.